Hey, welcome to Always Yarn First. I'm Lindsay. I am a knitter, crocheter, spinner coming to you from Central Arkansas. I work at Arkansas Yarn Co. and I am a virtual assistant. And if you'd like to follow my latest yarn adventures, you can follow me on Instagram and Ravelry as Always Yarn First. Welcome. It is kind of like a bonus episode. It is a regular podcast. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. I hope you find something you enjoy and will stick around. I do a traditional podcast style, although this week is still podcast style, but a little bit different. I decided to kind of have a thrown together episode because I realized next week I won't have my usual day off and then I will be going to DFW Fiber Fest. So I thought it'd be more fun to do a podcast this week, and then in 2 weeks I can talk about the Fiber Fest. So I decided to keep this one pretty minimal because I've only worked on a few things. It's only been a week since I podcast, and I went to the Arkansas Yarn Co. yarn retreat. So this week I have no finished objects. I'm going to talk about 3 whips and 1 cast on I just did this morning. And then I'm going to talk about acquisitions, a few which I have bought, and then the rest will be around the Arkansas Yarn Co. retreat, and I will talk a little bit about that. So, welcome. It is episode 97, and each week I choose the name of a song that I enjoy to name the podcast after, because before my love of yarn was my love of music. So this week I am choosing I Want to Thank You by Angie Stone featuring Snoop Dogg. All right, I have my notes here. So like I said, it's a little bit different this week. So we're briefly going to go into whips. So I took a couple of projects. I technically took these 3 whips with me to the retreat. I will show you the one I worked on the most. So this is in a bag from Kelly E. McD. And this is my, let's see here, textured shale sock yarn scarf. So last week I was here. I did move my marker, so I got quite a bit done. Again, because I impromptu decided to do in the living room, the light is a bit different, but it is 11:30, so there's quite a bit of natural light coming in. I am still very much enjoying this pattern. This pattern I started when I taught a class for beginner lace at Arkansas Yarn Co. This is a free pattern by my friend Christine, who is Treasure Goddess and who will be at DFW Fiber Fest. So move that up, making quite a bit of progress on that. And I am using Emma's Yarn Perfect Sock Base in the color Saltwater Taffy. All right, that is whip 1. Whip 2. I don't think I got as much done on this, but this is in my string crazy bag. And this is my half and half triangles wrap, which again, of course, I'm in the middle of a row, which is fine. It's fine. So I'm still in the navy. This uses 2, do you call it skeins? I don't even have the other one here. Here is the second one I'm on. This is using Coastal Cotton Fine in the colorway Navy. After this, I will have a variegated colorway. Actually, maybe I do have it here. Yeah, I do. Right here is my second color. So again, this is the Fine. You can kind of see the speckles. It kind of has like a mustardy, goldish, with grayish blue speckles. This is in the colorway Bell's Beach. So this will be the other half. This will be the other triangle on top of this one. Once I get all of my short rows done, which you can see how many I've completed. This is all the completed short rows. And where I'm at right now is right here. So I have a way to go, because you do one stitch at a time coming all the way back. And this again is a free pattern by Purl Soho. Half and half triangles wrap. All right, let's get into my cardigan. This is a test knit for Trysten of Dragon Horde Yarn. And I finished the collar and button band. So last time I showed it, it wasn't attached to the yarn. It was just on its own. And I'm gonna move this because I keep kicking it. All right, it wasn't attached to the yarn. I had finished the first sleeve and I hadn't picked up the stitches. So right after I podcast, I attempted to pick up the stitches, and I knew there was short rows because of this shawl collar. So I was very, very particular about being right on as possible because I didn't want the short row collar to look like it was off to the side. I tried 3 times. 3 hours I worked on picking it up, but I still was not satisfied that it was correct. So I took it into work the next day and I basically begged Jessa to help me. So what little bit we had time before the retreat, Tuesday and Wednesday, she did help pick up those stitches for me, thankfully, and here it is. So I have, there is the buttonholes right here. There is 5 of them. They're for 1-inch buttons, so I will need to shop for some buttons. But this is just a garter. Nice shawl collar, some short rows, and then like the button band, and then more short rows, and then you finish out. So this is, you know, on the right side out. This is like the back of the collar hanging out. And you'll notice I did pick up my second sleeve. So here we are. This is all that's left. I'm very excited. I'll have this done obviously before DFW Fiberfest. Not that I'll necessarily have a chance to wear it unless it's freezing in the room. So I'm gonna bring it with me in case I'm taking 3 classes, and in case the rooms where the classes are, maybe they'll be chillier, who knows. So very, very, very happy with this. Excited. This is a colorway. This is AYC Yummy Worsted in the colorway Out to Sea. All right, so usually I do new cast-ons first, but again, we're just kind of doing this in whatever order. So yesterday I worked. Yesterday was Tuesday. I worked, and there was a brief time where it was just Lori and I in the shop. We were talking about Jessa's baby gifts coming up and her baby shower, and I'm like, oh, I'm so bad with making things for baby showers because like timing, I just like kind of cave in. But I had just recently taught a Tunisian crochet class at Arkansas Yarn Store, and then I also taught it this past weekend at the retreat, and people loved it. And I've been wanting to make some more things in Tunisian crochet because I find it very relaxing. And honestly, I really like the texture because knitting is a lighter texture. I got into knitting from crochet because I wanted to make garments, and to me crochet garments were too thick. But crochet like blankets are awesome because you want them thick. The Tunisian crochet kind of has like a nice in between. Like it doesn't feel so thick and heavy as regular crochet to me. It depends on the stitch you do too also. But it has such a squishy texture. So yesterday I purchased the pattern and the yarn, and I don't have the pattern, I didn't write it on my notes. So I think it's the Bias Tunisian Crochet Baby Blanket by TL Yarn Crafts, Toni Lipsey. And I found this yarn at the store. Color's not going to be super accurate, but if you look over here, like where the natural light is hitting it, that's pretty accurate. It's just beautiful. It has kind of like the mustards and oranges. It kind of has the fall colors in it, the greens and mustards, and then it has some pinks, but not overwhelming of the pinks. And I am loving it. It is Malabrigo, Arroyo, which is DK, in the color Primavera. So I started this, and this just does use the Tunisian simple stitch. So if you've taken my class, you could do this. It's just a couple more yarn overs to make the increases, but there, that shows it better a little bit. So I've just started. Now the Tunisian crochet tends to kind of roll up. So you'll notice my stitch marker here. I picked like one of my heavier stitch markers and just put it on this locking stitch marker and put it here so it would weigh it down. Because what was happening as I was crocheting, it would be curling up like this and it would be in my way. So I just put a heavy stitch marker, and now you can see it's basically weighted down and super, super easy to work. Tunisian crochet is so fun. So I'm hoping that I will just want to work on this, which is different than any other project I have currently going on, and I will fly through this project. All right, that is all I've worked on in the last week. So if you're just here to catch up with the making, that is all of it. We are going to get into acquisitions slash retreat talk. So if you're here for that, let's get right on going. All right, so just like last year during retreat season, I've kind of split up acquisitions to different things. So let's start with the swag bag. So this was the color this year. This was the bag that the goodies were in. And then I put one of my stickers on, but this was the cup. Oh, and if you're going to DFW Fiberfest, look for me. I will have sparkle version of this sticker to hand out to people. But this is the cup. And then this is the yarn. This year we did not have a pattern or cast on party, so we did not wind up the yarn for people. And it's just called A Weekend with Friends 2025. And then we do have a t-shirt that looks exactly the same. And that I don't have in here right now. Then we have this little bag. So let's go through what is in here. There is a little notebook and pen. There was a couple of different teas. And let's see, there was a darning needle. And is that it? The other thing I have in here, so we do the stitch marker swap, and Lori included, when we got it in the swag bag, we had the bracelet and our weekend with friends. Then I filled it with all the things. I mean, there's no way I can show you all the things. I love this one that Sydney made. So pretty. Cup of coffee, a bottle of Sprite, this beautiful rainbow. I mean, there was one, oh, there was a beautiful crown. Snowflakes, a honeybee with some honeycomb. All kinds of gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous things. A little flower. And then Lori's personal one was this one that says Arkansas Yarn Co. Love Lori. And then some other ones I kept separate because they did basic stitch markers, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying that, I mean, I will use these. They just gave a bunch of the favorite locking pins. They gave a bunch of the circle ones. Someone made, I think it was Bridget, that made basically their own row marker. And here's a couple extra of the ones that I provided, which was a kitty cat. So that is always super fun. And like all the retreats, like I do sometimes use these stitch markers, but they just bring back so many good memories. So I always have them on those things to show. I have them hanging on my wall from past retreats because they're just fun. Oh, and this was Dory's because she drives the short bus. She got everybody an extra big one. Okay, that is all for swag. I think that's all I have in my bag. All right, so then let's talk about the things I didn't purchase that I came home with from the retreat. So first of all, there's always a few people that like to give us gifts, which is so sweet. And one of those people is Allison. And this year I made sure to get her a gift because she has been every year of our retreat. So this is year 3. And every year she gets the 4 of us just cute, thoughtful, very different gifts. And I love them so much. So I had to get her something, which I did. So here is what I got from Allison this time. Look how adorable this thing is. This is getting hung up, I don't know where, but it's adorable. Then she gave these little car cup coasters. You've seen those little ones that go in your vehicle. So here's a crochet version of those. So those will go in my truck. And then this great little bag we can put notions in. That is from Allison. And I don't remember who gave me this because I came down Sunday morning. I skipped breakfast, but somebody had handed this out to the rest of the team while they were all sitting together at breakfast. I wasn't there. There was a bag waiting for me, so I apologize, whoever gave us this. But someone had gifted us all 4 the same skein of yarn. But look at it's blue, not pink. This is called Sarasota. It is Emma's yarn and her super silky base. Yeah, it's 80% superwash merino, 20% silk. So I don't know if the girls and I will make something same with it. We'll have matching items. I don't know. But I love it. It is beautiful. Then there was one more gift. There was one more gift. So this is from my sweet, sweet friend, Cindy. And Cindy I met at the Knitting McCurley retreat, and she came to our retreat. She gave each of the 4 of us variations of this similar gift, except there's something super special in mine, also in Lori. So Lori and I, she met before. She had never met Anna and Jessa before. So I won't go through every single thing, but she gave us these cute little Trader Joe's bags. Of course, mine is blue because I love it. And she packed this sucker. Like, I think it's gotten moved around, but there was things in each of these little pockets. It kind of was like the perfect travel bag. She has the hand sanitizer. She had cleansing wipes. She had electrolyte powder, some popcorn, basically like snack stuff, a granola bar, a shout wipe, just fun travel things. And then I got these stitch stoppers, needle toppers, whatever you call them. And then here's the extra special thing, a couple extra special things she gave. So when Lori and I were hanging out with Cindy, we had spent our free time to go over to On the Lamb yarn shop in Dallas, and it is right next to the British Emporium. And if you've been around for a while, you remember I came home with a really fancy teacup. Like, it was not cheap. I was like really trying to figure out which one I wanted. I had narrowed it down to 2, but I'm like, okay, I can only afford one. And I picked the one I like, which had dragons on it, which was, I love it. I love it. But Cindy remembered the other mug I was looking at. And this is it. It's full of tea. Let me take that out. So this is the other one I was eyeing. It is beautiful. It is blue. It has birds on it. This is from bluebirdandwillow.co.uk. So again, it's so gorgeous. And Lori got the same one as me, but she remembered which one I was looking at. Right here it says Bone China. Designed in England. I love it. It is so beautiful. Kind of another reason I wanted to podcast today, because I keep all these items separately till I show them, then I can actually put them away, use them. So I want to use this cup. Thank you, Cindy. And Cindy is an epic sock maker. Epic. That girl goes through the socks. So she gifted me hand knit socks. She also gifted a pair to Lori. Super, super sweet. It was so nice seeing her. And she brought a friend of hers, Sherilyn, who, and I'm sorry if I'm telling this wrong, but she had talked about Sherilyn when we had met her in January. And Sherilyn used to knit, but hadn't for 35 years. Is that correct? A long, long, long time. But they're best friends, and they like to travel together and do things together. They don't live in the same town as each other. And Sherilyn basically wanted to go to all these yarny events with her friend. So she's like, okay, well, I'm going to pick up knitting again. I thought that was super cute. So Sherilyn was also a delight to meet. So this was such a fun and very, very special gift. Like I said, it's just packed with like all kinds of things. It actually has the Scandinavian swimmers, which are kind of like Swedish fish. It's the Trader Joe's version. And I ate through that whole bag during the course of the weekend, so I can't show that. All right. The next thing I have is for the skein swap. So we do events for a mystery skein swap where if you want to trade in one of your yarns, it has to be a fingering weight, 100 gram, still wound in the, has the label, skein of yarn. You put it in a brown bag, you mark on it so you know you don't get your own bag, and then put it on a table and everyone takes turns, comes up and picks a different bag. I actually was not going to participate in that. I didn't pick a thing of yarn, but I was rooming with Lori and she brought extras and she insisted that I take one of hers and just take a yarn. So this is what I pulled, which I love Madeleine Tosh. And this looks like you could use it for planned pooling, which I love. So this is Madeleine Tosh, 100% superwash merino. It's a single ply, 420 yards, and it's just a one-of-a-kind colorway. So I love it. The last thing from the retreat was the freebie table, where you can put past makes that you're not getting use out of, or full skeins of yarn, tools, anything. The only caveat is that you have to, if nobody takes it by Sunday morning when you leave, you have to take it with you. So I went through and got rid of some of my accessories, my hand knits, and some bags, and everything got taken except for one cowl. So I was really excited about that. But I grabbed a couple of things from the table. Someone had some yarn already caked up. I think it's the full skein of each of them though. So again, these are all seem to be Madeleine Tosh. I think there's 3 tags in there. So probably can't see it through the bag. There's this green with black and pink and purple. Okay, there is 4 ones. Cross the Universe, Shadow's Embrace, Kenergy, and Electromagnet. So I know the pink is the Kenergy. There is one, blues and purples and a little bit of pink. I know this is the Kenergy one with the hot pink. Love that. I'm guessing this is probably the Electromagnet. I can probably look them up on our website and find which one goes to which cake. But I thought that was a great find. So those were all 4 together and I just took the whole bag. And then I saw this book, which again, I've kind of been in like a crochet mode lately. So I took this, which is Alina Let's Crochet book. I have never seen this book before. And there's some really cute stuff. I wouldn't make everything in it, and I haven't had time to like fully look, but that is really pretty. Ooh, look at that sweater. That is nice. I love that. So yeah, this one looks really fun, and it was very bright, interesting. So I was excited to get a crochet book. And then there was a bunch of these at the table, and so I just had to try this on. And this is basically a yarn ring. So there's the hook, so you can tension, put your yarn around your finger and not worry about it. I guess it would be this way. So yeah, I decided to try that out. So that's what I snagged from the freebie table. Okay, the last thing for real, because I forgot this was under the end. Lori had handed out little gifts for everybody. First of all, Laura Brady had Knit for Brains. She had donated a bunch of bags, and then Lori donated some bags from the shop. So everyone was able to go home with a project bag. They got to basically get one. So this is super pretty. And then Earth Yarns, we had asked a while back if they would be willing to donate something for our retreat. And they had all of these phone holders. So you basically put your phone in there. They're all different colors. So this is the one I got. That is what I came home from the retreat with. The retreat was fantastic. And we do the retreat every September. This is our 3rd year. A lot of times you don't hear us talking about it because we always let past retreaters get first dibs. So we've had a lot of the same people for all 3 years. However, when this video goes up, this Friday, let's see, the 10th, it'll go up the 12th. So September 13th, Saturday, will go up a listing for a retreat in May. It is the Thursday through Sunday morning of Memorial Day weekend, so keep that in mind. It is a smaller retreat, but we're opening this one up just to the public. So past retreaters can get a ticket, but they don't have a spot held for them because many people have really wanted to come to our retreat. So this one is open to the public. There are very limited spots. We're doing a smaller retreat because it's a lot of work for us. And I will say, I don't know what time it's going up. We open at 10, so it's not going to go up before 10. I will say that. But I would say that if you really want to go to the retreat, you need to be stalking the website. Even better if you have subscribed or you have the app either from Google Play or Apple, because we will send a notification to the app users first. So keep that in mind. They will go fast. I'm pretty confident they will be sold out in the same day because so many people have gotten on our wait list. And once they know that there's one open, but again, maybe not because it's Memorial Day weekend, so people have other plans. But if you would like to go to our retreat, which is at Lake DeGray in Arkansas, and it'll be Memorial Day weekend, then get our app and make sure you have your notifications turned on and be ready to purchase on Saturday morning. We would love to have you. We always have a good time. All right, now the final thing is a little bit of the purchases I have made. I already mentioned, let's start with this one, which was yesterday, but I had already mentioned that I got this yarn for the baby blanket. So these are my other, I got 3 skeins of this. But I had been kind of hoarding for myself some yarns I wanted to get. When we found out Night Owl wasn't dying, then I grabbed up the colorways I didn't have and I wanted. So I got one of the Arkansas Yarn Co. that Rachel had dyed with the Arkansas Yarn Co. logo colors. I got Pineapple Shake Up. And I got Cozy in My Hobbit Hole. And then I had 3 of these because a while back, like I said, I've really been thinking about the Tunisian crochet and I would love to make a tank top in it. I think a few podcasts ago I showed some pictures of ones I was thinking about. And I thought this would be a great one to use. This is Teeny Button Studios. This is her Breezy Fingering. It's 50% superwash merino, 50% cotton. So I had these stored away, and because I was a teacher at the retreat, I had a gift card to use. So I use that for all of this. So yes, excited. I would like to cast this on, but I'm kind of thinking I should focus on Jessa's baby knits first, now that I know there's a baby shower coming up in a couple months, because I don't want to wait till the last minute. I am really, really not good with that. All right, so that is it for this week. Thank you so much for being here. Again, sorry about the lighting. It was just kind of a last minute. I'm going to jump in, talk about a couple of things, and show you all what I got so I can put all of these goodies away. When this goes up, again, if you're interested in the retreat, make sure Saturday morning you keep your eyes peeled on the website for that. And also then next week is DFW Fiberfest, and I will be there. My friend Allison and I are getting in on Thursday. We will be there the whole weekend. I have a class Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm very excited. I have a weaving, a spinning, and a tips and tricks class. So it's a little bit of everything. And I'm excited to see friends there. If you watch the podcast, please come up to me, say hi, ask for a sticker, because I will have stickers especially to give out for DFW. I hope to see you then. If not, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.